How come I come the preacher was up talking today and he started talking and he's like, y'all know we gonna be all right. Everybody like, yeah, we gonna be all right. He said, wait a minute, it's we gonna be all right when you like us, because we gonna be all right. Comment, because we gonna be all right. Subscribe. If not, we gonna be all right. Share, because we gonna be all right, whether you do it or not, because we gonna be all right. Thank you.
Welcome back to another edition of Her Love and His Peace. I am the spoiler,
And I am yummy.
and we are the Boomer X generation talking about love, life, and relationships in the modern time. And yes, we do complain from time to time because we can, and because this thing can be a little bit off centered sometimes, and we just have to let it out. So, this podcast is part of our therapy session. We do it not only for you, but we do it for ourselves to keep ourselves sane in this thing, right? And
Exactly.
we and so we have a good understanding that it's for a small segment of the market, but it's still for the market, though. Nevertheless, so what's an engagement shower?
Well, it used to be a baby shower, I mean, a bridal shower, but now it's where they bring you gifts for
For your,
like for your wedding. It's like they doing too much because you
but
get
if okay, so you it's an engagement shower. So they
mhm.
bring you gifts. Like what kind of gifts do you give for engagement?
Well, like I
Because
said,
me, I want a little cash on that ring. That's
well,
yeah.
now
I
see,
just,
you
hook
can
me
do
up.
that like some people get married and since they already got their houses and stuff, they do a monetary gifts only. So at the wedding or what, or even at the shower, you can just do monetary and all they can bring is money, gift cards or money.
Right.
So yeah, you can request any kind of gifts you want,
I track
but
that.
yeah, so you could do it all monetary.
No amount too small. I got to pay for this damn ring. Hit me up.
Exactly. See, like where it used to be, like I said, it used to be a bridal shower, and that's where it was just all women, and that's when they brought all the little nighties and the
Right.
panties
I
with the
get it
holes.
now. I
Yeah.
get it now.
But
I
now
get it
it's
now.
switched to where it's in
The couple.
a
But
couple.
now here's the spin. Here's the spin, right?
Hmm. Okay.
Let's have the engagement shower
Okay.
and never have a wedding.
You could do that.
I would do that.
That's like having you can, but they expect you to get married at some point.
I don't give a fuck what they expect. They get what I'm giving them.
You can have an engagement party, but it could
Right.
be because see,
And
some
if
people do it,
they go win the date. Yeah.
and that's when you tell them, oh, uh, it's you could do
Well,
a
I,
destination,
I'll
and
be the honest guy and be like, it ain't coming.
you see, they go want their gift back.
No, it's an
Yeah.
engagement. It's an engagement
Oh, so
shower.
you
It's
just
a
want to
party.
have the shower because you got engaged, and that's it. You ain't going no
There you
further
go.
than the engagement. I
Yep.
can, I
Right.
can dig it. I can
There
dig
you
it.
go. Right.
I can
And
dig
I'm
it.
not lying.
Mm, you're not lying.
If you ask me, so when is the date? It ain't coming.
Ain't no date, but we engaged.
There you go.
I get it. I
Right.
get it.
So, I'm not telling a story. I'm giving you the true funk of what I'm talking about. And here we go.
Or you could do like some people, it's coming one day, and that day never gets here.
I'm not gonna fake the funk.
I
No,
get it. Mm,
at my age, faking the funk just don't work. It's
uh,
not.
We
It's not. It's not within my DNA anymore. Right. I got
we
nothing
just
to
gonna,
prove. Got nothing to get to. Right. I've
yeah,
got
but
nothing to shuck my jive myself into. Right.
mhm.
What you see is what you get. And ta-da!
So you just gonna be honest, Abe, and tell him, no, we just have an engagement shower because we engaged, and that's it.
If
That's all
you
y'all
don't
getting out of
want the
me is
truth, don't ask me shit. It's
all you
just
gonna get is the all you getting is the engagement. Ain't no wedding. Ain't no wedding.
right.
I dig
You
it.
know,
I dig it.
and I'm going to try to be nice and not hurt your feelings and go, well,
You know what?
that and that's the sign of okay, but you know how people like to press you for shit. No, I'm for real. Okay, for real, ain't gonna be one.
I do understand.
Right. And you're not wasting your time. You're giving to a loving couple, right?
Yeah,
Who is telling the truth.
that is correct.
Now I understand people like to live in fantasy land and all that other shit, but I'm too old to be selling fantasies. So
I can appreciate that.
right. So I just like
Yeah, I knew it was something about you that draw me to you. Your
right.
honesty just overwhelms my heart. I guess the guys got to the point to where they say, "Hey, wait, we want to end on some of these gifts too." So they started changing it from a bridal shower to a engagement shower
A bridal shower into an engagement shower.
or engagement party or whatever
Engagement. I
whichever.
tracked it. I actually tracked the engagement party. I actually tracked that.
I could go for the engagement party.
Yeah. So today, I want to start off with kind of a recap of what date night was. So, if you're not familiar, we had date night in Detroit. And if you're not familiar with the relationship, we are in a distance relationship. She lives in Michigan and I live in Wisconsin. And I decided that we should do a date night and send it around going to see Ralphio Sadiq concert. Now, the caveat to it is she's the one that's usually traveling because that's just the way our relationship is set up. Um, this time I would be to travel, but by plane. And the thing to that is I haven't flown in 10 plus years. So the thing about flying for me is not, a lot of people are scared planes are going to fall and blah, blah, blah. That's not my thing. It's your time. It's your time. My thing is the clusterfuck at the airport. This dog and pony show they call security and the little bottles of whatever liquids and all that monkey ass bullshit. Right. That's my problem with flying.
Right.
So I decided that I was going to fly this time because later on next year we've got some air travel coming up, and I figured this would be a good tune up for me. Right. It's only an hour. It's a direct flight. There ain't no switching planes and running through the airports and 12-hour delays and layovers and all that bullshit. So, good tune up to get my mind kind of set. And yes, I work that way. I have to work my way into things sometimes, especially shit that bugs me. Right. So, that is that. So, the thing is built around me taking this flight, her picking me up, and going to Detroit is kind of familiar for both of us, especially because she lives in Michigan and I've been there several times. So that part of it is not as big of a deal. Uh, so it, that the flight thing became the big thing to it, plus the show. Um, and overall, the flight was, it was Delta, and the flight went on, you know, with no problems uh, for the most part. Uh, I get to the airport super early anyway because of this anticipated clusterfuck of the airport, and I don't like it. But I get there, and I would rather get there early, get through that crap, and just sit and be patient and wait. I got plenty of patience versus trying to get there on because I saw some people running through the airport, and I don't know what their circumstances is, but I heard a number of times going and coming. We're looking for passenger so and so and so and so. And they that must be them. They trucking through the airport.
I must admit, I've been one of those passengers, and it was not due to any of my error. It was due to a plane delay. So yeah,
Sure, sure,
I could
and
track
and
that.
that kind of thing happens.
Yeah,
There'll be at some point where you just can't control the circumstances, and it happens. But the one lady, she had her bags, and an airport employee was helping her drag another bag, and they I'm sitting there with my little coffee and my bagel going, glad that ain't me, you know.
yeah.
So,
I've been there. I've been
right.
there. But I could say now the convenience that I don't have to travel with luggage because of our setup, which is I can just travel freely now. So if I gotta run, I ain't carrying no bags except for my bag that got snacks in it because airport snacks is expensive
Yeah.
and they don't take
Yeah.
cash.
Right. The cashless thing was a new thing, which was no deal, no biggie. But to find out
Correct.
that they're doing cashless, that was something. And then the flight going, I did have the internet and the little airplane thing. I'll try to put this in a video. I took video of the little airplane thing showing the flight path, or the little animation they got for it. That was something new. Coming
Yeah,
back, I didn't have that because it was an older plane. So,
right.
but for the most part, it was okay. It was a good tune up. It was a good tune up, right?
Hmm.
So
See, so
hopefully
now
you're
for
not.
me, I make it to the airport about 20 20 minutes before boarding because
Mm-hmm.
I done kind of got used to it. Some days I do have to be careful though, because at least when I'm leaving Wisconsin, because it may be a day to where it's a lot of people leaving and I have to go through TSA and it's like, wait, where all these people come from? I'm used to just going straight in through TSA and my gate be right there. But either way it go, when I get there at least 20 minutes before boarding time, it's still a sufficient enough time for me. But
Yeah, yeah.
I've flown a lot more than you have,
Mm-hmm.
so I can kind of.
Well, I can imagine different airports or bigger airports, especially if you're rental car
Hmm.
parking and things of that nature. Yeah, you have to allot for more time and whatnot, but not having to deal with that coming back. It's just getting out the car and grabbing on your booty and keep it moving. You know, um, I could have did the 20-minute thing and would have been okay.
Yeah,
So,
no, it
but
was.
I think knowing me, I
Yeah,
still I still wouldn't. I just still wouldn't do it.
I know you wouldn't,
Nah.
but like I say, with me flying at least once a month, I've gotten it. I'm used to it, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, you
It's
pros.
I won't say a pro, but you got to realize I've been flying quite a bit because it started off flying in Tennessee. Now that's where it was. I had to get there on early because it was always It was always on jam. It was never just a straight through. It was
Mm-hmm.
always on jam.
The hotel we stayed at, Fort Pontchartrain Hotel, we saw, and it was, being fair, we were just in and out. It was just one night and then out. So we didn't, and plus we were going to do something specific in the evening. So it wasn't like we were going to indulge in all the hotel amenities.
Correct.
But it's funny, on Facebook, the because we had looked at the hotel and stuff like that. Of course, you get all their latest advertisements and things of the uh, impress on how impressive their hotel is. And one of the ads said they were the best hotel in Detroit, and uh,
Yeah.
I, I think we tend to differ from
Oh,
that.
yeah, we beg to differ.
Right. You know, because we stayed at another hotel in Detroit, and we found it to be better to our liking, just
Ye-
as an overall room and things of that nature. And what I found surprising about this hotel is that they didn't have a in-room listing of what their amenities are, like where the pool is, where the workout room is, what the restaurants offered, what times the restaurants were open. There was a little thing in the elevator that said about one restaurant,
right,
but it didn't, in room. There's no kind of like electronic board on the TV or any card or anything advertisement listed in the room that told you about anything about the hotel.
correct.
And I found that odd.
Yeah. So odd that there wasn't even a Bible in there that you noticed. You're like, wait, ain't no Bible in here.
Yeah, yeah,
Not-
yeah. And yeah. And I know that's an old school thing, and a lot of
but they
hotels
still have
went
them
away
there.
from it.
Most
Yeah,
hotels still have
yeah.
Bibles.
Right. And
Mhm.
and even the room, it was what what was it, seventh floor?
Yes.
The seventh floor room,
Yes.
and it had more of a city view. Um, and I'll put some of the pictures in the video here. Um, it was a okay size room. Um, the bathroom, while it was kind of newer in amenities, it was so small,
It was.
right?
It
You're
was
not gonna
tiny.
get no, you wasn't gonna get no freaky stuff going on in the shower in that one. It was so small, right? And because it looks like, it was a tile floor for sure. Looked like it was newer, but there was grout residue all on the floor,
Yeah.
around the grout edges, where it just didn't get cleaned up. Um,
Hmm.
Either by the contractor, cleaning crew, or whatever, whoever was supposed to clean that up. Um, it just the fit and finish was not there. Um, the room was clean, but it did have like a what I thought like a 80s type of vibe. They tried to give like a beach vibe, ocean vibe, or whatever they call it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
80s. And some of the furniture was starting to show its age. So
Yeah.
it's, but on the plus side, it was very quiet. Even with a city
Very.
view, it was in traffic down there. It was super duper quiet. And I don't know if we were the only people on the floor. That maybe. We know we weren't on the same floor with the soccer team that came in,
No, we wasn't.
right? And so
No. But you never
that may
heard
be the
anything
case.
on the floor.
No, no, you hear nothing. So that was the thing. And there was what was the weird thing on the wall? We still
I
couldn't figure out
Googled
what that was.
that.
What is it?
It was a clock. Apparently that one was broken. So it's supposed to be a pendulum clock.
Okay. I didn't
Yeah,
see a
but
pendulum on it. Yeah.
that's like I say, it had to be broken because the picture you sent me, I
Uh,
opened it up and I Google, you know how you could hit your camera on Google,
right.
and I did that and it came up as a clock. But yeah, apparently that one has been mishandled quite a bit.
Right. Well,
'Cause
that's fitting for that room because, yeah,
yeah,
the like I
yeah.
said, the fit and finish is so for the
Well, they
best
just
hotel in Detroit.
it wasn't.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't.
And the other thing about this hotel is valet only parking. And
Yes.
when I went to the website, that was not listed on there. It
No, it
had
wasn't.
that. It did have restaurants. It did have that. It had fitness and this, that, and the other. But it didn't have any more information about menus, times, or anything like that, even on the website. And I just thought that was odd. You
Yeah.
know,
But
I
it was
just
an
thought that was odd.
experience. So
It
if we ever go back, we know
We're
we won't
not
be
to go.
staying there.
No, no,
Nah. I think we
we're
can go
not to
back to
go.
well, you gotta remember the first hotel we stayed at down there. We was there for a couple more days too, so we was able to indulge
Yeah,
in
we were
the
able to
amenities.
indulge,
Hmm.
and but the fit and finish of the room was a lot. What's the word I'm looking for? A lot more attention to detail, a lot crisper,
Hmm.
uh, a
Hmm.
lot more on point or whatever. Uh,
Yeah.
the now versus the Motor City Hotel. Is that a Detroit?
Yep. That's
Yeah.
Motor City.
The Motor City had the casino, and that was something that we didn't indulge in because we're not casino people.
No.
And their restaurant area was kind of like, you know, it was a
So food
big deal.
court.
But right, it's a food court, but I get it. It's the casino and food court, that type of energy, right? So
Right.
that's why we didn't, it wasn't no big deal when we didn't indulge in it like that.
No.
Uh, so, but we did go to the fitness and spa area at Motor City, and we had a good time. You know,
We did.
nice and relaxing and whatnot.
It, when you think back, it was quiet in there too for that to be a
Yeah,
casino and a wedding that was going on that weekend.
yeah,
It was still quiet there too.
right,
So that was amazing to be a
right, and
casino.
and that's where we caught the Eddie Griffin show there.
Yes.
That was pretty good. So they got a small concert venue there. So and plus our room overlooked the parking structure.
Hmm.
And so we didn't hear nothing coming off the parking structure either. We were above the parking structure.
Right.
And it was more of a cityscape view on that one. I'll try to I know I got some pictures and stuff of that one. I'll put it in there. So Motor City, yes. Fort Pontchartrain, no.
No.
Simple as that, right?
Simple.
Simple as that. The nightlife downtown was pretty lively,
It was.
right? Right.
Yeah.
And if we were those type of folks, we probably would have had a good time kind of downtown running around. Because I remember Detroit as a uh, in my 20s and kicking it with some cousins and stuff there. We used to hit some joints. Uh, and I'm sure they still have that kind of thing going on. It's just that, I'm over it. Not that kind of thing that I indulge in, but it was a lot of traffic, a lot of people, a lot of bars, scenes. We heard some live music coming from somewhere. Um, so
Yeah, we never did find it, but yeah,
never did find it. So it's like we was in the energy of it all. The
exactly.
old folks down there in the energy of it all. And
But it
so,
was it was nice out. We did get out for a walk. It was a nice night to walk.
right, right. And got a little walk in and whatnot. And so we went to the Raphael Sadiq show, and uh, we have a review on that one that's up. So definitely check that out. But the overview was, it was more of a history lesson of where he came from and him telling some of his family story and history and music and whatnot. And I thought it was a good show. You know,
It was.
you know,
It
would
was a
you
good
call it
show.
a would you call it
A musical documentary.
a musical documentary? That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It
musical
was.
documentary. So if you, I know by the time we put the review up, there was only a few cities left.
Yeah,
But if you somehow get the chance to check it out, it's definitely worth checking out.
it is.
You know,
It is.
and then we found the playlist to his show on Spotify, so you can go back and now reference the tracks that he was talking about in his show to listening to the actual songs or the full versions of the actual songs, which was pretty cool.
It
Which was
was.
pretty cool.
It
You know,
was. Because some of the songs he did, it's like I didn't recognize them. But when I listened to the playlist, I'm like, oh, that's what this one was. Or,
right, exactly that. So overall, it was a uh, it was a great evening. But like most things in life, um, who you're with makes a difference.
it
You
does.
know, and and so I had a great time.
I did too.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
now, so check this out, though. One thing she found out, and we're always learning about each other, right? So that's part of the discovery of relationships and stuff. And so one thing she found out about me is about decision making, right?
Yes.
And so my thing about decision making is make a decision. When a decision has to be made, make a decision. And sometimes where you think you have to make a decision, you don't, and I understand those times. But in this instance, right, make a decision.
Yeah.
So when you're driving, if you're driving, I'm expected to be a passenger in this thing, and I'm chilling. You know, because usually if I'm a passenger, I've got the camera and I'm doing this thing. I'm not watching for this, that, and the other. It's the driver's responsibility,
You're
right?
correct.
And technically, this is her city, right? This is her show because she's trying, right? So she's trying to make a parking decision, and me being me, I didn't
Yeah.
even know I said it. What did I say?
You are, you know what you say. You say, it's up to you. You driving, just make a decision. I'm like, whoa, okay.
All right, right,
It
right,
was a little more intense than that, but
right. Don't sugarcoat it. Tell them like it
no,
is.
no, no, I'm not,
Well,
because I don't use that language.
anyway, I didn't realize it, but that's how I get when it comes to decision making. I'll tell you why. I'll tell the audience why. I'm that way because uh, in the prior life when I used to work that job, right? The reason, one of the things that we were there to do is to make split decisions in a couple seconds notice. You have to gather all the information in a few seconds and make a fucking decision, right? And you have to live with that decision.
Mhm.
So I'm geared that way. And a lot of times what would happen is you would get people that would want the responsibility of being supervisors and uh, upper echelon bosses. They want titles, they want pay, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't want responsibility for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had to call in because that was part of the procedure that you were under with your operating standard, operating procedures, and whatnot, that you had to call certain things in, and you get these people on the phone, and you're sitting on the phone with a person that won't make a decision, and it
Mm-hmm.
drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Because to me, the decision's already made. I'm calling because I have to due to procedure,
Right.
right?
Right.
And you get these motherfuckers on the phone shucking and jiving. It's like, look, dude, I ain't got. I'm out here on the street doing my
Mm-hmm.
thing. You sitting in the cozy office. I'm only calling you because the rule says I have to call you. I could
Mm-hmm.
really just go and do my thing and motherfuck you, but then I have to now deal with a whole nother set of circumstances of them, and it's just not worth the bullshit that you put you. So then you have to sit on the phone with an hour with a motherfucker that can't make a fucking decision, and they got to go call 12 other motherfuckers because they don't want the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And now think of it this way: if I gotta call you with something, we're not talking life and death shit here, right?
Uh-huh. Right.
Because of what I used to do, I make the life and death decision all day long
Mm-hmm.
without you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a procedural thing.
Right.
So I'm calling you. This ain't a life and death thing here. This is a procedural thing, and you still can't make a fucking decision.
Yeah.
And my thing was always get the fuck out of the chair,
Yeah.
right? What the fuck are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
So then you'll get a dispatcher call and you say, yeah, I'm still here because I'm here with this stupid motherfucker that can't make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How much longer? I don't know. How much longer is it going to take to make a decision?
Yeah.
So that's why I like that.
And I wasn't offended, right? It caught me off guard, and because then I laughed because you like just make an effing decision. I'm like, okay, well I'm gonna just park right here. How about that? Oh, okay. And it didn't spoil the night. It did. It just caught
No.
me off guard, and I laughed about it because I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I got you. Point taken. And I ask you
well,
nothing. I got this. Decisions made on my own. Leave me alone.
and it a lot of things too. Just like okay, where we park. Once we parked, we figured out, oh, we ain't that far from the hotel and this, that, and the other.
Correct.
And then once we got to the hotel, we figured out, oh, we was just right over there.
Right.
Right. So now the thing you can second guess it and go back and say, well, really, we should have just came to the hotel first and this, that, and the other. But again, we didn't know the hotel was going to be valet only. And we didn't know we weren't able to check in at that time. Right.
Correct. Right.
So either way it go, just parking anywhere was still the better way to go. Right.
Right. It was.
Right. So at the end of the day, my thing is making the decision, and you definitely consider all your possibilities, right?
Hmm.
So I'm not
Hmm.
saying to jump over, you know, what kind of information you need to make that decision.
Right.
But some of this shit is just, okay, we walk a block too far, or a block more than we had. We needed to exercise anyway, you know.
True. True.
So a lot of shit just ain't that serious, you know.
It's
Right,
not.
right. But you'll get there. I'm gonna get you there.
I know you are.
I'm gonna
And
get you there.
I like I say, I wasn't offended by it. I wasn't hurt by it. Some people get sensitive and like, oh, are you yelling at me?
Right,
Whatever. It was kind of fun. It was funny to me. Oh, okay.
right, right,
you know, but you
right.
do
I'm
have some
harmless.
people that you are. I give
Right.
you that. You
Yeah.
are. Sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, you
And don't
can
get
be.
me wrong, I make some decisions, go, God damn it. All right.
Yeah,
Okay. In that case, it's cleanup time now. I'm
yeah,
still living with the decision, but now I have to do something, maneuver something a little bit different because of maybe this, that, and the other.
right.
But everybody has their process, right?
They do.
Everybody has their, and I understand that everybody has their process. You were trying to be courteous towards me, and oh, what about this one? Fuck all that being nice. Let's get on with it. You're the driver. Let's drive. Come on.
You know, I'm not used to driving you. I'm used to being the passenger.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like being the passenger princess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. I was Miss Daisy.
yeah, so it ain't gonna happen too often, but okay, well,
Well,
you're right.
you tell me your opinion.
Okay.
Are relationships more fragile now than they were back in the day?
Yes,
Why you say that?
because I'm gonna use that example, like I was just using it for instance,
Mm-hmm.
how your voice elevated just a little, whereas then I could have been a little softer and like, took it the wrong way, which you wasn't meaning any harm by telling me just make a decision. And I understood that part of it. But some people back then that could have started an argument or like, oh, well, why are you yelling at me? And well, I wasn't yelling at you. I was just telling you to do this. And there you go. A small thing blown out of proportion, which like, wait, did I say it's more fragile now than it was back then?
Yes.
Okay. And that's why everybody is so much softer now. Back then, it would have been exactly how I took it. Okay. You're help. I take that as you telling me just make a decision as helping me to just make a Johnny on the spot decision instead of that was a simple thing far as finding somewhere to park. Okay. I could have parked close or we could have went up the ramp some. But how hard was it? You're right. I was just being courteous and say, hey, do you want to stop right here or do you want to go up farther? Because not knowing how far we had to walk to the event where we was going out of the parking garage. So, but nowadays, uh, you can't. You have to almost like with these new relationships walk on eggshells because every little thing could hurt. Oh, well, he hurt my feelings or she did this. So it's like, no, I think you need to communicate so you will understand. It's like, don't take everything so personal or everything to heart because everything is not said to hurt you. You know what I mean? I think I
Um,
said that.
yeah, I get it. I don't know if it's necessarily more fragile now versus then. I think yes, people are more butthurt these days overall.
Yes,
This is
I can
true.
agree with that.
That is definitely true. People are more butthurt these days. Um, Generationally, I we come from that type of generation to where you have to have a little thicker skin,
That
with
is
some things. And I will say that as I've gotten older, it's not that my skin has gotten thinner. It's my verbalization has gotten blunter.
yes, it
So
has.
so while their skin is getting thinner, my shit is getting like, look, motherfucker, your shit's trash. Okay, right?
Where see,
And and that don't mean that you can't tighten your thing up. That don't mean that you uh it's just a momentary. It's in a lot of cases it can be shored up, But at this moment, standing in front of me, your shit is trash. Okay.
And and at one point you would kind of come with a little softer tone or softer delivery.
Right.
At some point you may have used to, like, okay, well, let me figure out how I can say this a little softer without
Right.
butt
Right.
hurting somebody. But
Right.
now, like you say, you getting older, you don't have time to be trying to figure out how to sugarcoat it. Hey, I'm gonna just say it and be done with
Right.
it.
Right.
You still don't mean to come off so harsh or so hard, but because everybody is so sensitive nowadays, that's
Right.
what you get. It's like, I'm not, like I say, what you said to me, I could have been real soft about it and cried and everything else and still never let it die. Still could be bringing it to your, hey, you remember how you just cussed at me and said make a decision? I could still be butthurt about it, but it's like, it ain't that serious. But like you say, back then we were taught to have a tougher skin. These new generations, you can't even tell them to toughen up. Well, what you talking about toughen up? They all in their feelings.
Right.
Get out your
You know,
feelings.
especially, well, I think that's why a lot of people uh, are not in the circle of me no more because of that. And that's fine. But, I always stick it to my great nephews and them, I
Yeah, I
make it
feel
a
sorry
point to,
for them sometimes.
yeah, I make it a point to stick it to their ass.
I feel bad for them sometimes. Like, you so
They get
rough.
over. Right,
But
right.
see,
They'll get
I
over.
don't I listen how you talk to them and I'll be saying to myself, man, he kind of rough, but I'll never say that to you because
Right,
at some point they need that.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
They
They
need
need
that.
that.
And the other component that I make sure that when we get the opportunity to circle around this thing, they understand where I'm coming from, what my objective is, and I take the feedback from them about how they feel about it, right?
Hmm.
Not me, not, and the feedback is not, oh, so I won't say that to them again, well, I won't come on that. No, they're gonna get the same fucking thing, right?
I know.
But I make sure they understand why, you know, why I'm that way with them, right?
Hmm.
And what it
Hmm.
is that I'm trying to impart and get to them. It ain't just fuck them up, run them over with the bus, and then just leave them out there to be a victim. No, no. I make sure I circle back in and they understand it comes from a place of love and having equipping them with survival skills in this thing that I see that they are lacking, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And for the most part, the the nephews get it, and so now it's hilarious to them. And the great nephews, their pain is coming.
Poor guys.
Their pain is coming. So, but that's the thing. The fragile nature of relationship these days. I was just
Yeah.
that was a curious thought to me. We thought that it was more uh, fragile now than
Yeah.
before.
It is. We as adults now sometimes could probably even think back to stuff that was told to us, not just by our parents, just by an adult that was an older person than us would tell us something like, we took it. We didn't get attitude about it, but now it plays back. It's like, oh, I remember when I was told this. And
I
it
get
help you.
attitude about it. I got attitude about
Well,
it, right?
you a different case.
Especially one day, it was something. I was in high school. Something was going on, and the old man came and he was talking to me about it. We were in the backyard, right? and he listened to whatever the fuck, I can't even remember what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And he listened. He was good for that. He listened. He said, you're looking at it wrong. And I was like, what? I see this thing, and this is how trivial whatever it was, because I can't even remember what it was about. But I remember him saying, "You're looking at it wrong," right? And he went on and he gave his spiel about whatever and this, that, and the other. And yeah, it did make me look at it a little bit different, but I can't even remember what it was. And a lot of times I use that with people. They explain this and that. Now, yeah, but you're looking at it wrong.
I was just about to say, you kind of throw that at me quite a bit. And some days I'll be like, I'll be fussing back at you. You don't know that, but now you do.
Uh-huh.
And you be like, well, you're looking at it wrong. And I'm like, no, I ain't, man. And I hear you out. I do. I hear you out.
Right.
And then sometime I'll be like, I guess he got a point there. But most of the time it'd be like, I wasn't listening to that wrong, but
Well, a lot of times our perspective gets skewed.
huh.
Um, it gets skewed by a lot of different factors, and a lot of times it's because the information that we know, this is supposed to go this way,
It
and
is.
I'm understanding, yes, it is, but in reality, this is how it functions. And
Yeah.
so the reality of it is different than the way it should function. And that's a lot of times gets our view skewed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go into an example of something that's real life playing out before our eyes, right?
Okay.
There is a labor shortage in this country
Mm-hmm.
of skilled labor in the plumbing fields, in the automotive fields, in the trades field. Those trade fields have a skilled labor shortage,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with the advent of the school system and those that think they know more than everybody else, steering people away from the trades, in some places eliminating all the way from their curriculum,
Mm-hmm.
now causes a shortage. So now they steer people into this computer driven world like we are, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now those people that sit in the middle of those computer driven fields are being replaced by the data mining of AI.
Right.
AI can do those jobs more efficiently, faster, and at a way cheaper cost than the labor that can do those analytics.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's this body of people who are going to be displaced.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, in seeing this thing, we can say, well, these people should be a match for these type of jobs over here because there's an overage over here and they're going to be like, oh, they're going to need jobs, so they should be going into those, and these fields should be trying to recruit those people.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
It does.
And in reality, ain't none of that going on. ain't,
Nope.
ain't none of that going on. And the one thing, and you'll hear us on this podcast talk about AI a lot because I like it as a fascinating subject matter. Uh,
Yeah,
and the one thing AI can't do is that we don't live in a time where the robots are able to come to your door and fix your sink.
that is correct.
We don't have the robots that are able to fix your car. Uh,
Hmm.
so that hasn't caught up with the whole AI revolution over here, right?
Right.
It's caught up with these cats, but
Hmm.
it hadn't caught up with nowhere near has caught up with these cats over here. So
Right.
you would naturally think that these businesses over here would change their business model in order to attract good employees for the long haul of what they're doing in goods and services over here. You would think
Hmm.
they change their business model, but in reality, they're doing business as usual, like it
Correct.
doesn't exist.
And you're right. You're right.
Right? Like it. Oh yeah, we've identified the problem, right? But
Right.
we're not changing nothing to change on it, to have an impact on it. And we're doing business as usual, like it doesn't exist. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just like, it's a recipe for disaster.
Of course it is.
Right.
But
So
that's
while
that's where we're headed to.
exactly. And that so now how it should function and the reality of it functioning, right? If you get your vision skewed, it'll drive you nuts.
It will.
Right. Because you'll be like, this is the simple solution. You just gotta change how you do business over here and attract more of those people to these fields. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And nope, they ain't got no that because the head of I think it was Chrysler, he was talking about how many service technician jobs are that they have a gap in, but yet he has no plan to change their business model to attract those people. Who's going to service the cars?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and y'all got some of the raggediest product around. So,
Well, and, and and now that you have so many of these service tech guys that work in there, they complain because they get cars in and they work on commission. How can me fixing a car is a commission?
right,
So it's like you can hear them talk about they pay is garbage, and
right,
then it's like, how do you get commission on being repair
right,
automotive
and
repair
that
guy?
and that's the whole thing about them. They're not willing to change their business model to attract the people that potentially can go into that field. One, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't pay enough.
Correct.
Two, it's a whole new skill set they have to learn.
You do.
And with Chrysler, you got the raggediest cars around. So you dealing
Yeah.
with a poorly designed product, you know. So
Yeah.
you don't even have enough attraction for people to even come into the field,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's a
Mm-hmm.
refusal to change your business model and whatnot. What what I was thinking about with that whole scenario is that yeah, AI is going to put a certain segment of people out of job in the immediate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you would think that, and here's a field that affects both of us in some form. You would think those in the labor union fields would do a better job at pushing to get those folks over to their side of the thing. But
Mm-hmm.
again, because they're going after self preservation and not recognizing you have an excellent opportunity here now to revitalize
Right.
labor as the commodity, right?
Right.
here you go with this whole scenario of everybody missing the fucking point.
That is
Right?
correct.
They all
Yes.
missing the fucking point, you know. And I was like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and somebody will tell me, well, you're looking at it wrong. No, no. I'm looking at it in reality of how it is, right? I recognize it for exactly how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I would be looking at it wrong if I was arguing that no, it's this way,
Right.
right? So
Right.
if I was like, no, it's this way. No, I'm not
Yeah.
going to know it's this way. I'm looking at it exactly like it is. They have a labor shortage. They don't want to change their business model. They've got a labor force over here that's about to be displaced, and nobody is getting these people in the door to fill those type of positions.
Yeah.
They don't
Well,
even give a shit because they don't want to change their business model. The union
no.
doesn't want to change its business model because they're in survival of the fittest mode of just trying to preserve what they have
Right.
versus
Right.
re versus innovating themselves and pivoting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, that's what the thing with the whole AI thing too. It's
Mm-hmm.
not to be worried that you're going to be out of a job. It's time to pivot.
True. True.
No, there's some things that AI can't do that a physical human being can do.
That
Okay,
is
it's
that
time to
is
pivot.
correct.
May not seem ideal, especially if you've been groomed to sit your ass at a desk.
Yeah, if you done did that for so long, that's all you really know. So
Right,
it'll take time to learn something new, but
right, right,
you know,
right. In generationally, these folks that would have been in that middle realm, they're going to have to pivot one way or another, whether they're forced to pivot, they're going to be forced to pivot. How, everybody ain't going to be a YouTube sensation.
right.
All right, so,
That's true.
you know, folks are going to have to pivot. They're going to be forced to pivot one way or another. No, that's just my 2 cents.
Well, as we know, unions ain't what they used to be nowadays.
No, no. And because of them trying to just hold on type of philosophy
Yep.
is what's really going to take them down further down the hole than what they realize. You know,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have to pivot. You know,
They do.
nothing stays the same forever. You have to pivot. It was a great ride the way it was, but now you have to pivot. There's a new wave of labor coming through. And if you want to capture that, you have to pivot to capture the new wave.
Yeah, you do. But I think now too, what's hurting unions so bad is these right to work states, you know, where you don't really have to have a union, which a lot of people don't understand the value of a union. The union brings a lot of value, but they get stuck on, oh, I gotta pay union dues, and what is the union gonna do for me? They do a lot, but then when you got the right to work states, your their company can have a union, but then you you have a choice to be a part of it or not. So, it's
Well,
is they
and
not
to
just they're just not as strong as they used to be.
well that's because of things running on political realms.
Yep.
So that and I get it. It's always been that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
See the if if I had the rose-colored glasses, I would argue one without the other, right?
Yeah.
And it's really ran concurrently. One runs off of the philosophy of the other. So that now with the shift of companies going south, which are typically, you know, right to work states or Republican based states, you
Right.
know, you
Yeah.
get that type of shift in momentum in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so I get it and I understand it. But now for the unions, there's an opportunity to pivot, not necessarily from that,
Mm-hmm.
but to pivot. And now you looking at different type of industries that you won't necessarily have the foothold of old,
Mm-hmm.
but you pivoted to a whole nother different type of workforce now, um, that looks familiar, but it just the design is different,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But unions are always going to be reactionary off of whatever the company's doing anyway. So
That is
um,
correct.
it's that type of situation. And this is no way trying to solve bigger problems with this thing because they're well beyond my capability of doing or this, that, and the other. These are
Of
just
course.
observations of what I'm looking at,
Right. Right.
what I'm looking at without trying to sugarcoat some shit or jump on a Republican Democrat type of bandwagon and get all political and jazzed up and all this
And
bullshit, justice and
yeah.
juicy, and no kings and all this other garbage.
And that's
Whatever.
where we're not headed. We're not headed into this
No,
political. Yeah,
no,
no.
no,
We just
no.
gonna complain about everything because we can.
Right, right. And somebody
So
will have a dissertation, in the
yeah,
comment, you'll see a dissertation of going on one side or the other and blah blah blah.
and yeah.
Like whatever, whatever. Have at
Like thank you for your
it.
comment. We appreciate
Right.
it.
Hey,
We read it, but we ain't commenting.
right, 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 right. Well, that's what the comment is for. So all you keyboard
Exactly.
warriors. All right, right,
Speak your piece. We
exactly.
okay with that.
Right. When doing something nice can upset the balance. Right. So, and I'll give you a couple examples.
Oh, I was gonna say okay.
When I used to work the job, there was it was in a downtown urban environment. So
Okay.
you had homeless situation and whatnot. In this downtown situation, uh, the homeless people had breakfast at this spot, lunch at this spot, and dinner at this spot. And it was like a triangle.
Gotcha.
And in between, there's parks and high rise condos and everything. So there's one guy who used to sit at the bench all the time, and this one guy from the condo would give him money all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets wintertime, and of course, during the holidays, everybody's little heart is pouring out with emotion and love and caring, and so the guy called about this guy being out there. Right? Oh, it's cold, and it's Christmas, and we should all save the world and hug the trees and all this other shit, right?
Okay.
And so the guy's explaining to me that the guy's out there, every day, and he sees he's down in his luck, so he gives him a couple dollars, and he's concerned that the guy doesn't have anywhere to go and this, that, and the other. Right? And he's
Okay.
doing something nice. I'm not knocking the guy for being nice. Don't
Mm-hmm.
take it that way. But his heart is overflowing with kindness, and he's concerned about this guy's well-being because he's out there every day. Right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I explained to him, I go, well, he wants me to do something.
Oh, the you bad guy. Okay.
I'd be that guy. Well, you got to help him, and it's Christmas time. I said, well, uh, let me explain something to you about the homeless situation, right? In this particular area,
Mm-hmm.
they go here for breakfast, they're here for lunch, this and this. There's a shelter there at night, shelter here at night, shelter there at night.
Okay.
Okay. I said, so this gentleman, while he's doing something nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy has balance in his life.
Okay.
It may not be to our usual day to day of what we think balance is, but
Mm-hmm.
he's got balance in his life, right?
Okay.
And so now I told him, now you're giving him money every day,
Right.
right? It
Right.
just became part of his balance, right?
Right.
And I said, well, if you didn't give him money every day, he probably wouldn't sit there.
That is correct. But he know you gonna give him money, so he gonna sit here and wait for you to come out so you could give
Right.
him money.
So you're doing something nice, got included with his balance. He's already got his balance. He's got money. He's got money now. He's got
You got 3 meals.
breakfast, 3 meals in places. It may not be to your standard,
Exactly.
but his balance is there. He was, oh, I didn't look at it like that. Well, I didn't think you did. That's why I went to the length of explaining the situation to you.
You supplying him snack money, cigarette money, and whatever
Right,
else
right,
money,
liquor
because
money and everything else, right?
yeah,
You know, life ain't so bad in his world, you know.
it's not. I'm
But
getting
again,
money and don't even have to work.
yeah. So he kindly said, "Well, thank you, officer, for what you do."
You done messed up my man money. Done cut his allowance off.
But again, he was doing something nice. But sometimes doing something nice can upset the balance. And then when you upset the balance of things, right,
Mhm.
then you become responsible for correcting the balance, right? In
Right.
the case like this story that Jerry Springer told,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
he did something nice to take the family to a fair or met them at a fair or something of that nature.
Hmm.
And there's this pig that was going to go to slaughter after the fair. And he fell to the kids wanting to save this pig. So he bought the pig.
Hmm.
Along with buying the pig, he had to pay for the pig to be now housed and fed and costing him money every month for this pig, right?
Right. Where he
Knowing
could.
that this family didn't have it,
Right.
right? But they
Right.
got to save this pig. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. He was like, yeah. And so he was talking about it. He was regretting, he was doing something nice, but
Hmm.
now he upset the balance because the family didn't have money for it.
Mm-mm.
So now you upset the balance of now having to pay for this pig because why now? You feel guilty. Now you didn't bought this pig and now you got to pay for it because the family ain't got it like that,
No, you
right?
should have just let the pig get slaughtered and fed the family.
Look, look, so and my thing was that okay, after he passed away, were there provisions for this pig? And I'm probably guessing not. So this pig wind up being bacon anyway.
Yes.
Right. So and yeah, you extended the pig's life, but it still came up wound up being bacon anyway.
When you could have just let them slaughter the pig and get a family the food. It was like,
Sorry,
if
kids. That's the
They
way it
had
goes.
bacon, ribs, pork chops, chitlins, hey, little pigtails. Mm,
Right. So that's again, you're doing something nice, but now you upset the balance,
okay,
right? Because they
right.
can't afford it. So now you got to try to correct it because you accepted the responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
and the pig wind up being bacon anyway.
Oh, poor thing.
I'm assuming. I'm assuming. Just my assumption.
I understand. I'm gonna be stuffed in a statue in your house. So yeah,
Stuffed in, oh, you're going to be stuffed.
stuffed and a statue in your house. So
A
you could
stuffed,
always walk by and say, "Hey, yummy." Yep.
okay.
Yep.
You can live on to that one. You can hold on to that one.
I am.
It ain't gonna happen, but you can hold on to that one.
Well, we don't know who's gonna go first, me or you. I'm just saying.
Look, I went to an assignment once,
Uh-huh.
and this lady, she was again, a lot of people called because they just needed somebody to talk to. So they would call the police, have an officer show up, and really didn't really want anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just, and we a lot of time we would go do welfare checks like that, and then people just wanted to talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes they make up something that was happening that really wasn't happening, or it was something that was really like a landlord thing, and but really they just wanted to talk. And this
Mm-hmm.
happens more than what people think,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking to this lady, and it was a housing unit that was owned by the city.
Okay.
I forget what the issue was. And I was like, well, really, that's something you have to take up with the management of your apartment complex, not the police. And she
Mm-hmm.
goes into saying how she lost her son, and she just really wanted to talk, right? Because she
Mm-hmm.
didn't have nobody to talk to. So being an older lady, she had a lot of knickknacks around and this, that, and the other. And she had this big urn, right? And it was
Mm-hmm.
over an old school TV and this big urn sitting there. And she was like, "Yeah, that's my son." And she tells me the story how he passed, he was sick or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. And she's really lonely that he was all she had, and she goes into this whole thing, and I'm just looking at this big urn, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I,
Mm-hmm.
I, I get it. Right? She's just a little lonely and whatnot, but uh, it's one of those things that, like you said, the statue that you thought, no,
And we gonna get a recorded voice box so I could talk back to you. So you say morning, yummy. I
no,
say, hey, my love,
no,
and you won't be lonely. You'll always
no,
have me with you.
no. I got
Are you
photos, I got video. That's all. I'm good. No, no,
really?
yeah, yeah.
Photos and
And
videos.
it won't
You
be
got,
no big urn. No,
you want to do a big poster cutout?
no big poster cutouts. No.
Okay,
The photos and video will live in one of the hard drives over there.
gotcha.
Only
Okay.
about five of them. They'll be around there somewhere.
I, I know,
Mhm.
I know.
When that magical song comes on, I'll think of you.
Uh, which one is that?
I don't know.
I want to dance with somebody. I feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me.
Mhm.
That's the song.
Mhm.
You remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Mhm.
I'm gonna get that outfit and I'm gonna make that video for you. So you will have it
Uh,
forever and ever. Was that not
right.
the song?
you say so.
We're gonna talk about fundraisers.
Okay.
I called you yesterday about the fundraiser situation at the grocery
Okay.
store.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, I told you it was two little boys outside, and there was another little boy on the inside selling two different types of things. They was dressed differently. One presented they product nice and neatly. The other ones just like, hey, you want no. But anyway, excuse me. My point is my sister happened to be coming out of the store right behind me and I didn't know it. And I called her after I talked to you. I sat in the parking lot and I called her, not knowing
Mm-hmm.
she was walking out the store as I was talking to her. She's like, "When did they start letting you sit inside the store? And why they get to sit inside the store and the other ones got to stand outside the store?" I said, "Well, did you observe the different situations?" She's like, "Yeah, but that ain't right." She said, "Everybody, if they gonna sell, they should all be outside." Which I agree. It shouldn't be any preference. If you're gonna let people have their fundraisers at the grocery store, everybody should either be able to be within what you call their foyer area or they need to be outside the doors. But I was just
Well,
overwhelmed with the overpricing.
here's the situation though. The folks that you explained that was outside the door, right?
Hmm.
Was that a legitimate fundraiser?
Now see, that's what I was explaining to you. If I'm gonna put it out here like this, if you have a sporting team or you're trying to have any type of event that you're trying to do a fundraiser for, make it look legit. So if you're representing a school, have on a school shirt or something that represents the school you're trying to do this fundraiser for. If it's for a sporting team or some kind of youth group, have something that lets you acknowledge the fact of who somebody is paying for. Because say it's a church youth group, so regardless of what the price is, we as the consumers see, oh, it's for your youth church group. Oh, or it's for your elementary basketball team or field trip or something. You know where your money. A lot of time people want to know where their money is going. Me, I kind of like to know where my money is going. I'm not just gonna keep, you know, because you telling me it's for your basketball team or your soccer team. If I have no evidence of that's who it's for, I'm not gonna do it because it's like I don't know. But then like when you have the Girl Scout and the Boy Scouts, when they out there selling their stuff, they're in full uniform with their little berets on and their little handkerchiefs with the all their little badges. Okay, you know it's for the Girl Scout or the Boy Scout. They got their little signs and billboards or whatever.
Right.
And you'll be more likable to purchase from them because they're showing you who they're raising. And it still may not be a legit thing, but at least they have some kind of
Right.
example of
Right.
who they're trying to raise money for compared to you just giving me word of mouth. I can come out there and tell you, oh, I'm selling potato chips for my kids' field trip. I ain't got no kids with me, but that's who I'm selling it for. Would you
Right.
buy from me? You would think I'm trying to hustle you.
So
No,
the observation that you relayed to me, it seems like the kid that was selling inside, you knew what he was selling inside for, and
exactly.
to be inside like that, he probably had permission, right?
Probably, yeah,
The kids that were outside, you had no clue as to what they were selling for, except for what they said that they were selling for, but it didn't appear to be that way. and their setup appeared that they just went in the store and bought some stuff and came back out and they're trying to sell it outside the store, right?
Exactly. Right.
So when you're pulling in the information from the thing of overall how things look, and it doesn't look like they had permission to even be there. That's why they
That
were
is
outside the store.
that is
So
correct.
then, so your sister has to take a step back and look at the whole overall of what's
Mm,
going on here. Look like somebody was legit with their organization and had permission to be there, where the other
mm-hmm,
folks weren't legit with any organization and didn't have permission to be here. Therefore,
mm-hmm.
the difference of that's why they're not inside selling. And again,
Yes.
I'm just going off of the information you relayed to me, and that's what it
Mm-hmm.
seemed like it was, you know. So
Yeah.
in that instance, your sister was looking at it wrong.
But as I told you, I said first of all, their price was ridiculous because I'm no, no. For what they were selling,
What
two
was
for
they selling?
they were selling like the little snack cookies, the little snack Oreos and Chip Ahoy's where you only get four cookies in there, or the Nutter Butters,
Mm-hmm.
or like the little snack packs of Teddy Graham teddy bears.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They wanted two for $5 or four for 10. I'm like, come
And they
on.
were the same snacks that you could buy in the store,
Exactly. Exactly.
right?
So their box was kind of empty. So I don't know if some people actually bought or not. And there is a lot of kind-hearted people. And not saying I pass up people that's out selling all the time, because I don't. I normally try to buy, give, or whatever. But when you set a price like that, instead of just saying, okay, if you can't buy, we'll just take a donation of any amount. Because that's what the veterans do when they're always outside of the store and they had them little flowers or they give you a Tootsie Roll and they like, oh, just any donation. You can drop coins, they'll take dollar bills or whatever. But once again, they even show you who their organization is for. Could that be a scam? Of course it can. But still, they have something showing you it's for the veterans. I wouldn't think the old men would be out there with they military hats on and showing that they veterans just to be scamming people. So, but once again, they're not really selling, they just asking for donations. So,
I
I don't
err
know.
on the side of I ain't fucking with none of them.
Yeah,
I
I get it.
no, I
I
can
get it.
soothe my donation soul in a whole lot of different ways than that. And that's just a personal thing with me. I just, uh, I don't, and that's through my travels and investigations and things of that nature. And that's just me defaulting. Now, I don't knock anybody for donating to any of those causes or
Exactly.
to do that or anything like that. But that's just my personal thing, you
Well,
know.
back in the day, like even for example, when my kids was younger, the school always sent these candy farms home. You take this back to school. I am not going to be soliciting people to buy
Right,
candy because I mean, I gotta
right.
come up to the school and pick it up. Then I gotta deliver it.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't did no work. I done did all the work, and
Mm-hmm.
you get the toys from it. Now, how about I just go buy you the toys and we call it good. I never did like that because it was like that candy was even overpriced. Like, what is wrong with y'all? But
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just cheap when it comes to some
Well,
things.
it, it
I'm
it it
I'm
comes down
frugal.
to a thing of this society plays on your guilt,
Hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they will guilt you into, oh well, it's for the kids,
Yeah.
it's for the volleyball team, it's for the hockey team, it's for this that. Why don't you just take this 20 and go away? Leave me alone.
Yeah.
you know, here, kid, what you need? Some skates? Okay, let's go get you some skates.
And
Right.
when
Oh no, it's for
exactly.
travel and this, that, and the other, and the miscellaneous, that, and this, that, and the other. Again, they guilt you into all these things. And I get it. There's a lot of costs associated with a lot of these organizations that are not covered by just general fees and things of that nature. I
Correct.
understand that.
Correct.
I
Me
understand that.
too.
And the price of stuff and just hauling these kids from one place to another, the transportation cost alone is astronomical, especially when you're traveling out of state and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
understand it, you know.
I get it, especially when you got like now they have all these AAU sports.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not funded by anybody. You they do have some sponsors, but not sponsors still don't pay a whole lot because sometimes you do still have to give for your kid to participate. You have to, in AAU they do travel, and not all the kids that's on the team is fortunate. So I get it that they do have the different fundraisers or they ask you to do whatever. That part I get, but even in that, you still I'm still sure the kids have, normally it will be an adult out there with them if they're doing it for the team because they don't, the fear of somebody trying to rob them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When they done sold whatever and they got this amount of money, a lot of times there is adults out there. If it's only
Well, and
one or go ahead.
there's a certain segment of people that can appreciate the willingness of the kids to even just get out and hustle, and that's
Exactly.
probably why they bought the cookies from these kids. And they're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I can appreciate the spirit of it. And like I said, it's nothing wrong. You, it's not we're not. I'm not calling this a right or wrong thing. It's
You're right.
just an observation,
You're right.
and 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 so they can appreciate the spirit of the kids wanting to get out there and try to sell and this, that, and the other. Uh, the kids need to get their marketing together. That's all.
And and like you said, I'm not against it. And normally I do, but what they were trying to sell, I didn't have that type of cash on me. Because, I just came out the grocery store. So what they were, I'm like, I ain't got, a couple bucks, yeah, but they was like, they didn't give you a price for one single. They told you, so it was almost like you had to buy two. They didn't say, well, you can get one for $2 or whatever. It was just two for four right off the bat. It's
Mhm,
like, okay,
mhm.
maybe I don't eat that much. Maybe I don't even eat this kind of. But even if you just willing to take a donation, cool. But that wasn't even an option with them, you know. And when you trying to just do a fundraiser, to me, I would think any type of donation, if somebody only got 50 cents in their pocket, they give to you. 50 cent adds up, so you should, but you're right. I just, I guess I'm just putting it out there as a suggestion. I applaud you're right. I applaud they hustle, but make it more presentable. So, you know, people be more, you'll probably get more than what you averagely just when you get just the fly by night kid out here like, oh, well, we selling for our basketball team. Which one? You can't even tell me which one. There's a lot of basketball teams out here. Tell me
I
which
get it.
one. You
I get
know,
it.
I may be one of those ones that I don't have nothing to do. Hey, I'm gonna come watch you play. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't, you can't even tell me who you're playing for, then why do you feel I should even donate to you if you can't even tell me that? I, Yummy, and the spoiler would like to thank you for taking the time out to watch us, spend a little time with us. We'd appreciate the likes, the comments, the subscribes, and the shares that you do. We really do appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you next time here on My Love, His Peace. Oh, wait a minute. It's her love, his peace. I got you. You thought I was, you thought I didn't know what I was talking about. I knew what I was talking about. But we look forward to seeing you again. Have a good Sunday. Thank you.